Hello everyone, I'm Dan Philgreen, and this is Shell Point Today for Monday, March 10th. On today's show, Leslie Brand previews tomorrow's Hawaiian-themed event. Dr. Trevor Elmquist tells us why eye exams are important at any age. And we'll learn about dragon boats from Minnie Osteyee and find out how you can be part of the next Shell Point Dragon Boat team. Today, we start our show with an obscure fact about our guests tonight from Franklin and Marshall College in Pennsylvania. Did you know that there is a wildly successful designer clothing line in Europe called Franklin and Marshall? It's based on two Italian designers who became enamored with the name of the small Pennsylvanian college and the aesthetic of their college sweatshirts. Now, people in Europe will pay more than $200 for a Franklin and Marshall shirt at a London department store, while American students can get them for $20 at the college bookstore. Why are we telling you this? Two reasons. One, if you wanted to buy a Franklin and Marshall shirt here and sell it over in Europe, you'd make a fortune. I'm just saying. And two, the Franklin and Marshall College Chamber Singers are here at Shell Point, giving a free concert tonight. Enjoy this vocal ensemble of 25 singers performing everything from madrigals to pop songs. The Franklin and Marshall College Chamber Singers perform tonight at 6:30 p.m. in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands, and all are welcome. How about another free event, this one outside by the pool? Leslie Brand has a preview of tomorrow's Hawaiian celebration.
Well, here we are at the very first grand opening of the new LifeQuest Aquatic Center, where we have beautiful sun shining down and the trees blowing in the wind. I mean, we couldn't ask for a better day. And you know what? I've heard so much from residents about how they're having such a wonderful day today that we decided to do another event, Hawaiian party this time. So we're gonna have a hula dancer. So if you've never been to Hawaii, this is your time to come on out. We'll have a steel drum player. We'll have food, snack food from Hawaii. We'll have leis everywhere. We'll have grass skirts, anything you can even think of. And this event is free, so you can come and go as you please. It's gonna start at 2:15 on March 11th. So make sure you come on and stop by and make sure you're in the Hawaiian, get your Hawaiian shirt on. I'll have a lei for you and we'll have a great time.
We now have two musical previews, beginning with a tribute to one of the greatest folk musicians of all time. John Denver came to prominence in the early 1970s, having written the hit song, Leaving on a Jet Plane. As a solo artist, he combined the best parts of folk music, country, and pop, and hit it big with songs like Take Me Home, Country Roads. His music stands the test of time, and you can now experience it live, thanks to the tribute artist Jim Curry. Emulating John Denver's unique voice and style, Jim will perform an entire evening of John Denver's music, accompanied by a full live band. You might hear Sunshine on My Shoulders, Rocky Mountain High, and even Thank God I'm a Country Boy. Jim Curry's tribute to John Denver, Take Me Home, comes to Shell Point next Monday, March 17th at 7:30 p.m. in the church auditorium. Get tickets for your family and friends, and we'll see you there next Monday night. And we haven't forgotten that next week is St. Patrick's Day. We're celebrating by holding our spring dance with the theme Emerald City. For just $15, you can enjoy a magical night of appetizers, dancing, and music supplied by the duo of Kelly and Shelley. It all happens next Tuesday, March 18th, starting at 7 p.m. in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands. To sign up, call the Island Service Desk at 454-2282 or the Woodland Service Desk at 454-2054. We now have a word from ophthalmologist Dr. Trevor Elmquist, who understands you're older and you have too many doctors to visit as it is. But he wants to make sure that doesn't keep you from getting a regular eye exam. Otherwise, you could be missing out on life. Find out why you should schedule a regular eye exam at the Health Connection event Friday at 1 p.m. at the Arbor Community Room. Here is a preview.
Do you have a lot of doctor's appointments on your calendar? You try to weave them in between all the activities here at Shell Point, but you want to weave one more program into your schedule because it's important. It's a Health Connections program coming on Friday, March 14th at 1 p.m. in the community room of the Arbor, and Dr. Elmquist will be presenting Why Should I Get an Eye Exam? I Already Have Too Many doctors. I hear this from residents. Their schedules are already jam-packed. And I'm probably one of these people, when I go to take my little test and do the letters, I can read that bottom line. Mm-hmm. So I think I have great eyes, but that's not always the case, right?
Well, that is true. And I don't know how many doctors people have, but I do know that they get out their calendar and it's pretty tightly packed every day. I have to go here, I have to go there. But our vision is our most precious sense. 80% of what we learn throughout our lives comes through our eyes and our vision, with reading and just learning. And so much of our enjoyment of life obviously comes and allows us to function. So the eye doctor should be high on your list of your doctors.
Right. And it's not just, the actual vision reading. There's other things like the glaucoma that can sneak up on you, right?
That's right, Mary. You can lose your sight from glaucoma and not even know it till just before the very end, because it usually comes from your peripheral vision, starts to affect that. Your central vision, 20/20, stays good for a long time.
So how often should someone go to the eye doctor?
Well, once you're 60, 65, the American Academy recommends once a year, even if you have nothing else going on. So we can check your pressure, we can look at your macula, we can check for cataracts or check if you've already had cataract surgery. And then dry eyes and things, start to crop up. And so that's the recommendations after 60, 65, once a year. Before that, it could probably be spread out to a couple times, every couple years.
Okay. And it's good to have a baseline and also have a relationship with your doctor, so when you don't come in when there's a problem and then you're scrambling.
We want you to come in if there's a problem.
Correct.
If you're already established, it's so much easier. That's why I have a lot of patients with macular degeneration. I like to get some baseline things. And then if something changes one day, they're always checking their little grid. If it changes, come on in. I'll compare it to what we had. Oh, we can see there's a change here, and we know right where there might be a problem.
Okay. Well, this presentation will be important to every resident here at Shell Point, and I think it would be one to put onto your calendar. It's a busy one, but put it on your calendar. It'll be Friday, March 14th at 1 p.m. in the community room of the Arbor. You will love to have Dr. Elmquist give you this information. He's a very good speaker, very informative, and you'll enjoy yourself. So sign up at either service desk. I'm Mary Franklin with Dr. Elmquist. Have a happy and healthy day.
Perhaps you saw the entry in this month's Shell Point Life magazine, Dragon Boat Informational Meeting. Now, what on earth is a dragon boat? Short answer, it's a canoe paddled by 20 people who conduct short sprint races with other dragon boats. Anyone of any age can be a dragon boater. Just last year, the first ever Shell Point Dragon Boat team competed in a race on the Peace River in Charlotte County. This year, we're stepping up to the Tampa Bay International Dragon Boat Festival in April. Last year, we talked to Minnie, who helped bring dragon boat racing to Shell Point.
I never intended to fly an airplane, but when I went up with my husband and he didn't know quite where he was, I said, uh-oh, maybe I better get involved. So we both became instrument-rated pilots. But then we had teenagers and they required more of our time. So we said, well, I guess we better switch to something else. So that's how we got into boating. I said to my friend, maybe I should have some more exercise. Well, it wasn't 2 minutes later that the coach of the dragon boat team called. And that was the beginning of now 4 years of paddling with a dragon boat. Dragon boat racing is 20 people paddling together and a steers person and a drummer. So there are actually 22 people on this boat. So the boat weighs about 600 pounds. It's a lot of fun because you are on a team. The last time I was on a team was college. And now here I am as an adult and a part of a team again. And the people are just such fun, and we have such a good time. We exhaust ourselves, of course, at the end of a race, but that's what you're supposed to do. It comes from China, and it's more than 2,000 years old. And the story is that the Chinese felt that the dragon could scare away evil spirits. We are called the dragon dragons, We don't do a whole lot of dragging. The youngest on our team is 54. The oldest is 84. So our average age is somewhere around 65. So our coach has told us, and we have convinced ourselves, that it's technique, paddling together, that wins the races. So it seems to be working for us. When we first started racing, the young folks looked at us and thought, well, don't have to worry about them. Well, the next thing you knew, they realized that they needed to shape up. So we practiced 2 hours a week, 1 hour at a time, and then the race is 2 minutes. It's 1 stroke a second. We look to the stroke people. Those are the people in the front seat. And they watch each other, and each of us watches them. And so if they are in stroke, then the rest of us should be in stroke. 4 years ago, I was very nervous. My heart was pounding, and I kept saying to myself, I'm 1 of 20. I'm 1 of 20. I will do the best I can. I'm 1 of 20, but my heart was really racing. Then once it's over, you think, oh, this was great. Some people aren't that competitive, and that's fine. We have recreational paddlers, and they paddle for the fun of it. But then you know what happens? They find this competitiveness that they thought they never had, or had it and lost it. And then the next thing you know, they want to compete as well. So we do have community teams as part of the festivals here at Punta Gorda. The seats in the boat are hardwood and they're very narrow. So we do have what we call butt pads. And you can use just the gardener's kneeling pads. They work well too. But I have what we call the dragon saddle back there. In the beginning, we use wooden paddles, and then as you get more experienced, you switch, if you want to carbon fiber paddles. The wood is a little more forgiving, but you get a little more pressure with the carbon. It's a whole body exercise. You use your entire body. And it's upper body, you use your legs, you have to rotate. It really is a great exercise. And when you're paddling, you're depending on muscle memory. That's why you practice, so that when you're racing, your body knows what to do. And we do change sides in mid-practice, so that we are exercising both sides. Moving here to Shell Point, the exercise classes have just continued for me, and they are just wonderful. So it's a total body activity, and it has been growing worldwide. There are international competitions. In fact, our coach has paddled in Berlin and Prague, and I think maybe Australia. So he really gives us a lot of his experience.
Working in sync, it's something we don't often do regardless of the sport you're involved in, and that's probably the most critical element in dragon boat paddling. And it's really good. You're on the water, the camaraderie's there, and it's great to see the progress with the team, people coming along, even new paddlers, and how quickly they learn, and because they enjoy it. It's good exercise, and it's a good group to work with. So it's a really positive event and positive atmosphere.
It is growing, and we're always happy to share the sport with folks who aren't aware of it, because we have such a good time doing it that we want to, be sure that other people are aware and perhaps they would like to join in on this great sport.
Interested in joining the Shell Point Dragon Boat team? Learn more at an informational meeting happening tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands. All are welcome. Now let's turn our attention to Monday's happenings. But first, let's get a preview of this week's episode of Listening to the Words.
This week on Listening to the Words, enjoy excerpts from an interview of Kim Rosen, the author of Saved by a Poem, The Transformative Power of Words. You'll learn why poetry is not for an elite, but for everyone. You'll also be taken back to Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's The Children's Hour, one of the poems that new Shell Point resident Esther Feldman once committed to memory. Southwest Florida short story writer Jeanette Batko brings rhyme into her Ode to the Florida Flea Market. And marvel at the poetic prose of Florida lover Amy Bennett Williams in her article titled Love is in the Air. I'm your reader-host, David Hollenstein, inviting you to hear inspiring words any day this week on Channel 13's 30-minute, twice an hour, Listening to the Words. Or online, always at www.shellpoint.net/listening.
Welcome to the Happening segment of Shell Point TV. I'm Bev Chandley and this is Leslie Brand, and we're going to go over what's happening here at Shell Point today. We're going to start off at 8 o'clock today with the men's match play doubles tennis at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. Then at 9:15 we have billiards. That's held in the Resident Activity Center. 9:15 is also the time the Pottery Studio will be open with instruction available. And we also have at 9:15 virtual bowling in the Resident Activity Center. At 10 o'clock, the men's match play doubles tennis will be held at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. The Suzy Q will be heading out at 10 o'clock for Matanzas for lunch. Sign up is required. At 10:30, we have a Disciple Men's Bible Study group. That'll be held in the game room of the Woodlands. At 10:45, table tennis clinic will be going on in the Tarpon room. And then we have 11:30 Health Connections class, specifics in strength training. That'll be held in the health club, and their sign up is required for that. That concludes the morning activities. Continuing into the afternoon, here's Leslie.
Thanks, Bev. At 12 o'clock is Mahjong in the Sable Room. 1:15, Scrabble in the Library Lounge on the island. Also at 1:15, table tennis in the Tarpon Room. 1:15, tone chimes in the Osprey Room on the island. 1:30, Changing Horizons group will be in the Behavioral Health and the Medical Center on the island. 1:30, the Model Train Room will be open for tours till 3:30 in the train room on the island. 1:45, Health Connections, Balance and Mobility Training Level 1 in the Health Club. That class is currently full. 2 o'clock is the Beady-Eyed Bead Club in the Oak Room of the Woodlands. 3 o'clock, Health Connections, Pilates Stretch in the Health Club. 3:15, Shell Point Singers Rehearsal in the Choir Room of the Village Church on the island. 6:30 is the Duplicate Bridge in the Game Room at the Woodlands. And also at 6:30, we have the Franklin and Marshall College Chamber Singers are coming to perform in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands. Thank you so much for tuning in with us today. We hope you have a great Monday. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.
Hello, I'm Terry Kolath with your Academy information for Monday. At 10:15, public speaking continues in the Social Center on the island. Also at 10:15, iWork, word processing with pages and using templates, continues in the Manatee Room on the island. At 10:30, the Anatomy of Words continues in the Oak Room of the Woodlands, and they welcome everyone interested in words. Some new classes tomorrow: Singles, Living Solo by my three favorite doctors, Dr. Sue Stranahan, Dr. Nancy Spencer, and Dr. Carol Clark. Also a Technology Today and Tomorrow class, Security, Password Protection, Keychain. This is going to be introduced by Bruce Findlay of Sundial.
Menus for Monday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is marinated pork tenderloin with mixed vegetables and baked sweet potato. The dinner special is Home Cooking Night for $9.95, and the soup of the day is Senate Bean. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Monday, the special is a mushroom Swiss burger with fries for $7.25. The dinner special is char-grilled pork loin with yellow rice and green beans for $8.25. And the Palm Grill is closed on Mondays. Menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
I'm Randy Woods, and as we look forward to the weekend, we're looking forward to another great concert in our Season of Praise concert series. This Sunday, March 16th at 6:15, we will welcome Ron and Gary Matthews to the stage as they share their love for the Lord in word and song. You may ask, well, who are the Matthews Brothers? Well, in sacred and classical music, Ron and Gary Matthews are one of the most gifted and dynamic duet teams in North America. They're duo vocalists, duo pianists, duo organists, and duo trumpeters. They do everything together. With this combination of superlative talent, these brothers bring to every concert a rare and uplifting musical experience, but most importantly, a rich spirit of worship. Musicians par excellence, the brilliant and creative presentations of Ron and Gary reveal again and again their God-given instrumental and vocal abilities. Each concert becomes a service of worship as these two men use musical gifts to praise the Lord. In addition to their concert careers, Ron and Gary are also highly respected as composers, arrangers, and conductors. Dr. Ron Matthews is professor of music and chair of the music department at Eastern University in St. David's, Pennsylvania, and pastor of worship arts at Church of the Savior in Wayne, Pennsylvania. He served on the faculty at Nyack College in New York, and then for 10 years chaired the music department at Philadelphia Biblical University in Langhorne, Pennsylvania. Ron has earned his undergraduate degree in church music and organ from Westminster Choir College in Princeton, New Jersey. His Master of Music degree is in choral conducting from Temple University, Philadelphia, and his doctorate is in composition and conducting from Coombs College of Music in Philadelphia. Dr. Gary Matthews is the Minister of Worship and Arts at Christ Memorial Church in Holland, Michigan. He's earned his undergraduate degree in music education and organ from Temple University in Philadelphia and his master's degree in sacred music from Coombs College of Music in Philadelphia. He's also completed his ordination council at Highland Park Baptist Church in Southfield, Michigan, where he served for 20 years. In 2004, he earned a doctorate in worship studies. Gary has also served on the faculty at Nyack College in New York while ministering as music director at Calvary Memorial Church in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Ron and Gary have released 6 recordings. Their repertoire includes the major composers of all periods, plus arrangements and compositions based upon hymn tunes, gospel songs, and contemporary Christian songs. Ron and Gary, the Matthews Brothers, have given sacred concerts in churches of every denomination. In addition, they've appeared at many Bible conferences, revivals, crusades, conventions, and banquets. Christian colleges and universities invite them not only for their worshipful concerts, but also for their outstanding master classes and seminars in music and worship. I had the privilege of studying with Ron and Gary as a student, and through the years have shared ministry with them many times, here at Shell Point as well as in Morgantown and Mansfield, Ohio, where I served years ago. It's going to be a joy to have Ron and Gary with us. They'll be ministering in Sunday morning service with our choir, sharing special music, and then the full concert Sunday night at 6:15. I trust you'll get your tickets and come join us on Sunday evening in our Season of Praise concert with Ron and Gary Matthews. Tickets are $10 and will be available at the door. I hope to see you then.
We're glad you joined us for today's show. Tune in tomorrow as we travel to Africa for the latest edition of Global Outreach. We'll also get a dual recipe for garlic bread and cauliflower casserole. Until then, this is Shell Point Today for Monday, March 10th. I'm Dan Philgreen, and from all of us here at Shell Point TV, we hope you have a great day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.